Hell no. Greetings and salutations. 2 blocks. Some other paraphernalia if you do need it. I recommend.
Oh, it's in your spot.
That's all right. Let's see here. You got blocks. Hey, cool. Let's begin simply. Here's a block. Here's my left foot. We're going to swing this right leg. If you're out of frame, it's because your wife has moved you slightly forward. Smooth, smooth, smooth. Expansive breaths. Balancing on the left foot. Reach to kick your partner in the booty. Should be a little bit better. Good evening, Marta. Good evening, Sarah. Trying not to kick a wall. That's annoying if you ever do that. I also don't recommend that. What? You having some trouble? Focus. This is way better when I don't have to do it. There we go. Let's catch this right knee. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to classes on my birth week. Make sure you tune in Thursday. Thursday will be my birthday class. We're going to have lots of fun. Thursday night. Shoulder blades down, chest up. Smooth, smooth, expansive breaths. Let's kick the hips to the right, upper body to the left. Nothing fancy. This is medium death. I can't see you, so I can't really entrust that you're not going to murder yourself. So we don't go full on death. For those of you triggered by death, sorry about that. The word death, it is the second most natural thing. It's actually tied for the most natural thing that happened to all living things. For the whole birth thing, we twist back to center, so my left hand's holding the right knee. We twist, pull the right shoulder back. For those of you that know the style, we know how we care about getting in reality. And one of the things we want to be sensitive to is how we react to the sensation. There's the sensation itself. Everybody's feeling that, whatever that is. How twisty can you get? Let's pull this right knee over to the right. And then there's the thing you do in response. And we want to really fight to differentiate those today. Smooth, smooth inhales. Whoa, boy. Right back to center. Right hand catches the right foot. Left knee bent. If you can, just watch my wife's face in response to each of my instructions. See if some of you can relate. A few of you might be able to straighten that right leg. That's cool. Oh no. Focus. Right leg goes over to the right. See, I'm helpful. You can't really hear her sound effects. It's satisfying to have somebody making sound effects. Come right back to center. Right back to no. Left catches right. Even if that right knee is bent, we twist. Good. Let's go 2 feet on the block. Yay. Welcome. Each and every one of you, thank you for making the time. Get that chest up. See if you can close your eyes. You balance a little bit. With eyes closed, woo! The body starts twitching. The feet are doing a lot of the work. See if you can make the feet be extra alive, extra twitchy. Smooth, smooth, deep inhales. One more breath. Open your eyes. Look down at your block. Now, a lot of you, for some reason, the block just isn't working today. Get rid of the block. Do all this work balancing by the block. You may actually just get by a wall and put a finger on the wall. Let's center your right foot on the block. You're going to have to look down to make sure the foot's centered. And the thing I love about second side is that the block is the perfect wrong shape. But feel how amazing it is to swing that left foot. So good. The fail wheel's giving me the butt. Happy fail wheel, happy skull. Now there's a strong tendency for your tailbone to tuck as you swing the leg forward. See if you can keep that from happening. Keep the shirt crinkles out of the belly. Keep swinging. No, let go. There we go. And when you're honest with the leg swing, the foot does not go nearly as high. Trying to keep shirt crinkles out of the abdomen. It's a weird sensation. But of course, the more you're honest about this now, you're going to actually get flexibler, opener, because you're doing the thing the hard way. Remember, woo, we do everything the hard way. Let's catch this left knee. Welcome, Eleanor. Hey, Lauren. What's up? You didn't have a question mark, Lauren, so I'm just presuming that was a question. What's up? Period would be like letting us know that of all the things that are up, what is? We twist. So I'm turning towards this front knee. I'm using the purchase of both hands to rotate the upper body. Pull that left shoulder back. Everybody's inhaling. Once again, the air conditioning needs to be adjusted, of course. We've added an option for My Yoga Better. We've gotten lots of emails asking how people can help. It's extraordinary. This time, let's take the left knee over to the left. So I still have the same catch. My left hand pulling my left shoulder back. Left knee is pulling my right hand to the left. Everybody's breathing. And so in our effort to create the website of dreams, let's come back to center. We created the option to buy a lifetime membership, get that chest up. Whoa. We'll do a few special things throughout the year for supporters during this period. But think about it this way. If you know you're going to subscribe for the next 10 years, you'll get the most value out of your lifetime subscription the earlier you buy it. If you buy it today, if you wait till next month, you're going to get $10 less value than you would have if you bought it this month. All right, because the price will be the same, and obviously you're going to die at some point. So suck the marrow out of this deal. As we increase our rates for the website, as we do all kinds of things with upgrades, your membership stays the same. You get everything. We will never have multiple tiers of membership. Let's twist. Focus, focus. There we go. Semi. Focus. There we go. Cool. So try to pull that left shoulder back, arch up. So we use the purchase of the hands to get to puff the chest up. Oh! You can see Andrea's foot's working. One more breath. And we walk around. Yay! That's true. Wine coolers are really sort of anathema. Can't like bring whiskey and beer to your yoga class, but make sure you have your blocks as you take your tush against the wall. But right now you can wear whatever you want. You can have a beer helmet on if you want to. Head back, chest up, smooth, expansive inhales. And tick-tock the head. Whoa. This is a stressful time. And there's a certain way that intuitively doesn't make sense to do stressful practice. But then it turns out that that's exactly what we need. The more kind of mad squirrel in the front yard, the worse your stress response is getting you, that is the time for this practice. This isn't just hard exercise. Hard exercise is a stressor. It's helpful for everything we're trying to do. It'll help you be more healthy. But of course, what we're really trying to do in this practice is not do the movements just right, to execute and control and become masters at controlling every angle in our body. We're becoming masters at getting right into this moment. Right into this moment and feel your body. And in the advanced practice, the hard practice, what we're doing is we're giving you something to feel. Let's lean forward, belly in between the thighs, chest up, arms out. Mm-hmm. And here we go. We get our 2 blocks. We put them like so, out in front. No big deal. 2 thumbs up. You're going to take the tips of your thumbs. This is where the ends of your thumbnails, not the back of your thumbnails, not the inside or outside of the thumb. It's definitely not the pad. The very tippy tip of the thumbs. You push the thumbs in the block. You pick the blocks up. And you take the blocks overhead. You're going to arms straight, chest up. The blocks are 1 inch or 2 off the wall. Arms are as well. Head and back, upper back on the wall. The tailbone stays on the wall this whole time. Smooth, deep inhales. Let's pick the heels up. Spread the hands, of course. Reach the tip of the pinky away from the thumb. Good. Heels down. We take the spine and arms horizontal. Don't drop the blocks. Spread your fingers. Now, pull the hands back like you're in a handstand. There are a few strategies for coming out of the position. The main one is letting the blocks drop. My feet really slid out. Look at that. Bend your elbows. Let's take the blocks behind the head. 3, 2, good. You get 1 block. I'm going to put it down where the butt would be. Feet about as wide as the... We have a seat on the block. Tick-tock the head. for most of the last 10 years, barring a few hurricanes, all of this talk about stress was the normal fluctuations or normal chronic stress created by the lives that we author. You have your job, you have your family, and it was mostly this intellectual distinction we then applied to our experience. Let's scooch the heels all the way up against the block, see if you can pick your butt up 1 inch. For those of you that can't, first try. See if you can get your body forward. That's number one. And then if it's still not working, shift forward, let your heels come up. And get your heels as low as you can. But of course now, it's not hypothetical at all. Regardless of your bank account, when fundamental institutions begin to dissolve before our very eyes, and people we know and love are stressed for the things that they create. Remember, this is one of the distinctions we create in our teacher training. For those of you graduates watching, remember, money is, according to your amygdala, money is your life. And when there's threat to that or when there's issues with that, and so you see these people whose businesses are dissolving. It's their life's work. It's not a casual thing. Now we all know, of course, get rid of the block. You catch your block, straighten your arms, take your arms straight up to vertical, pull. Try to rip the block into 2 pieces with your arms straight and vertical best you can. When I work with people who've just gotten out of a car accident, or who've had other traumatic life events, a death in the family, or severe illness themselves, from your perspective, where you're sitting, you can't feel it because it's just life. So what we're doing here, of course, is we're giving you something to feel. And in the context of all these stations, can you fight to pull yourself into this moment? You want to escape. You want to run away. Of course you do. Because you're a normal human being, and it would be way better if you quit all this stuff. But I'm inviting you. Stay with us. Arms and spine horizontal. Hips a little higher than the knees. Still pulling. Bend your elbows, take the block behind your head. Squeeze your elbows narrow and rip the block into 2 pieces. Sink your hips to knee height, take your spine up to 45 degrees, squeeze your elbows in, pull. Most of you are slouching, get your head up, chest up. Good. Back into your squat. And get rid of the block. I'd rather your feet be parallel and your heels be up than for you to turn your feet out to solve the problem of heels down. I don't care about heels down, I care about parallel for now. It's nice to see your picture, Marta. It's very small. You guys need to update your... I guess it's just Lauren. Lauren needs to get a picture on her YouTube account. Maybe of her laundry room tile or something like that. Something that really identifies you. Good. Now we have blocks as arm extenders, arm lengtheners. We check out our forward bend. Many of you are feeling this in the back. Super normal, arch that chest up. Should feel amazing to now no longer be in that forward bend. Hey, thanks, Lindsay. That's great. Let's take your big toes together, heels apart. Most of you are going to still need to bend the knees. That's great. For those of you who can straighten, fight for that natural curve. Push the belly button down towards the thighs as we shift the hips. It has been a really great week. I've had some super duper, like, hobo Birkenstocks. Those two words don't really go together, but if you'd seen my Birkenstocks, you'd see how hobo they were. It's like related to hobo. It's like Hoboken. The hole in the heels, I had worn down the cork so much that my actual heel was on the actual ground when I walked. It was, in one way I was proud, but mostly I was ashamed. Shifting, exploring. It should feel nice. This is part of our general overall investment. Not get sciatica. Technically, we're not lengthening psoas too much. Oh, sand socks, of course. I live in Houston. There's never a reason to wear socks. Here we go. Time to work. You get to alternate bending and straightening the knees. We're about to do lots of jumping. Jumping is a good way to tear calves. If you do have issues with Achilles tendon, you can get irritation at the calcaneus, the heel, bone, or at the tendon itself, or where the tendon meets the meat. It's a meat meeting place. This is a good way to sort of warm that up. Let's take the left heel, reach it to the floor, pick your right foot up. Very simple idea. I'm going to pick the right foot up 1 inch off the floor with your right leg perfectly straight. Take the right leg over to the right, side splits, and then we bring it down. I'm still trying to get this stretch in left calf as I lift, pause for a beat, and come down. Cycling between the two positions, good morning and or evening. For those of you in Europe, you are up very early. Thank you for joining us. Isn't that nice? Let's lift it up. Keep it up.
It's going the wrong direction. Wow, the face.
It was fun. You come back to center. Do not touch your knees down. Wiggle the hips. Oh, that tension of the neck. And here we go. Reach that right heel to the floor, so my left foot's off the floor. Now the nice thing about second side is we've already cooked the second side, because side splits, of course, is bilateral. If I load either of the legs, both hips have to do some of the work. I'm trying to get rid of the momentum for this, y'all. This really makes time go slower, doesn't it? It's nice. Oh, man. I've had some people buy the sequencing course. You're getting some good feedback on the sequencing course. The anatomy course is finally up. Let's lift it, keep it up. 2 hands flat, 2 arms straight, please. Don't let your right leg, that left leg go back. Keep it perfectly over to the left. Higher than the pelvis best you can. 3, 2, back to down dog. Oh, so good. Alternating bending and straightening. Cargo crunch. Check out the neck. Let's do a little bit of work, shall we? I bend both elbows. Squeeze both elbows in and arch the chest. So that's doable. It sort of makes sense. Okay, my elbows are bent a little bit, so there's a little bit of angle there. I can feel that I'm loading triceps, and Yoda would disagree. He would say, you're loading your duceps. So you get shoulders down away from the ears, arch your chest up, and notice the tendency to shift your weight forward. That just puts even more weight on your duceps. So see if you can push your butt back, pinch the hips, and pull your chest and face to the floor. And with every exhale, we're going to lower our elbows 1 inch. And then keep your elbows in this new low position. Expand, 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 expand. Exhale, we lower the elbows an inch, not your face. By the way, we don't straighten. We're only going in one direction. So your exit, your escape here is not knees down, it's elbows down. Some of you are breathing very quickly. Once your elbows are down, you stay there. That's your new hum. Unless you're with me and you can take your elbows 1 inch off the floor. Got some shake. You straighten the arms? Good. And feel the efficiency of the weight going through elbows without having to load through duceps. How cool is it that we're together? Thanks, Internet. Outstanding. From elbows down dog, we'll have our heels touching the wall. Remember, this is medium depth. Take as many breaks as you need. This class is designed to have you begin to fail. And we should have about 80% failure, i.e. 80% of you fail to do 100% of the class, or everyone fails at 80% of the stuff. Hands come a little bit closer, elbows come down. So now elbows down dog. I haven't touched my knees down yet. I haven't. It's a beautiful example of what you could do over there to my left. And then elbows down dog. Simple idea, let's take your left foot hip height on the wall. Front splits. My right leg falls back behind me. Smooth, smooth inhales. Breathe. What's it like to inhale here? I'm not forcing the splits, just sort of seeing, okay, there's some sensation. I'll probably need to bend this left knee. I can straighten the left leg, cool. Let's switch feet. So now right foot is hip height, left leg is up and over, and your front splits. Expansive deep inhales. So I'm driving this right heel into the wall, allowing for a halfway decent stretch in hamstrings. It just shouldn't be overly intense. Smooth, smooth inhales. Good. Now when I bring my left foot down, I'm going to bring it halfway to the floor. And then front splits again. Right foot halfway to the floor. Left leg front splits. Oh man. So good. Left foot halfway to the floor again. We're almost there. Front splits. You switch. Don't let your foot slide to your death. Nobody breaks a foot before. Pull that left leg away. And finally, let's touch those knees down. Controlled, sweet and easy. We sit back, chest up. For those of you that can't quite sit back on your heels, put a couple blocks in between your feet. make it work. We're trying to get the spine vertical, the chest up. And with the chest up, of course, I've taken all this pressure off heart and lungs. My spine is as designed. And I have this added benefit of, as my arms and all the meat that articulates shoulder blades relaxes, it's pulling all of that, all the structure away from the ears. Now, we've been on the elbows, which means when you start checking out your neck, there should be all kinds of extra sensations. So good, yeah? Enjoying these last 2 or 3 deep breaths. I love the fluctuation, the vacillation, going on this stress curve. Totally gave the stress response something to react to, the shoulders something to suffer about. And it's over now, so how much are you hanging on to it? For me, I come out of these stress curves, and life is more vibrant. I'm way more present. Colors are more vivid. It's a good time to eat a really tasty taco. You can really experience it. And here we go. Let's about face. We'll work with straight arms, knowing that that's going to tighten our neck. We'll begin with straight arms and then work to elbows. So simple idea. I'm going to take my blocks like so, in between my feet and down dog, facing the wall. So I'm in a regular old, nothing fancy down dog. I got the blocks stacked too high, one on top of the other, and they're widest and flattest dimensions. And so there's actually going to be a little bit of instability on the push. Simple idea. I'm going to take my left foot on the block, right leg reaches up. You try not to let the blocks slide away. If you're on a very dry, slippery wood floor, it wants to slip so bad. Don't let it flip either. We switch. Smooth deep inhales, just a little bit of front splits. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Nothing fancy. Good. If that was going well, I'm going to take the top block and flip it like so. If that wasn't going well, don't go to the harder variation. Repeat the last one. It's sucky. The whole idea is that it's sucky. Don't make sure the blocks aren't too close or too far away. If they're too far away, the angle is too severe. If it's too close, you'll just be scrunched up. Although the blocks won't slide on you. Front splits. One leg reaches up. If you're lucky, you're getting a little crampy cramp. You switch. Reach. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Isn't that nice? Good. This is going great. So here we go. So now we take the blocks stacked and they're widest and second tallest dimension. Now this is getting high enough that you could break a toe if you let your feet slam uncontrolled into the floor. I like your feet, even if you don't, so nobody dies. Either repeat the last exercise or the one before that, or we go to this taller one, and we switch. Reach. Good. And finally, this will be the highest one we do. Second tallest and tallest. Here we go. Whose idea is this? This is very silly. Now we're actually getting close to touching the wall and sort of floating up, of course. Switch. Good. Let's stack the blocks. Actually, let's scooch them out of the way. Let's stack them for what's going to come for elbows. Let's scooch them out of the way so we can't land on them. Back into down dog. Check out the neck. Now I'm going to give you two options. We got some strong people in class. For the strong people, you go with option B. For the rest of us, just get our reps in. We're going to do 10 kicks on each leg. So in this case, I have one closer foot, one further away foot. The closer foot's the jumper, the further foot is the swinger. I swing, in this case my right leg up, single leg kicks. Maybe you touch the wall, maybe you don't. For those of you who are feeling strong, option B, I kick up with one leg and then come down with two. Kick up with one, come down with two. We'll do 10 on each leg. I'm confused what I was doing for a second. Up with one. Down with two. Up with one. Down with two. Whee! Sarah's almost done. She's got those quick kicks. Last one. Good. Touch the knees down, sit back. Yay. Your hands are never going to work again. Yay, good. Good, good, good. Check out the neck. Oh, that tension. Working with straight arms, you're going to elevate scapula. Of course you are. Now, most instructors or instructors tell you to do that. They're explicit about it. And, of course, from the perspective of our study of anatomy, and then the solutions we draw from it, that is crazy time, spoken in crazy talk. Double crazy. So don't do that if you're paying me to tell you what to do or to guide you in any way. Shoulder blades stay down, fight to stay down. But Andrew, I can't, and I'm frustrated. Yeah, of course you are. It's annoying. This is multiple years of work, and when we give ourselves years to develop this stuff, all the pressure's off. We give ourselves to the practice of today, and we give up our right to beat ourselves up over these small failures. It's only a failure given to what your goal is. And this is one of the really beautiful insights I got from Ira Glass. One of the reasons that we come into elbows down dog with the between the feet, you know what's coming. Shoulder blades down. One of the reasons you're so hard on yourself with your failures in your practice is that you actually have good taste. We flip the blocks. Take the top block into its second tallest dimension. Same process now, just with elbows down. 1 foot, front splits. Another foot, front splits. There we go. 2 blocks in their second tallest. You can actually see what you'd like it to look like, right? If your current level is not living up to that vision, of course you're idealizing something, and that's no bueno, but consider that the whole reason you're frustrated is because you have that beautiful vision. How cool is that? It's a beautiful thing, and that's actually the difference between people that make it and people who don't. You got to have that vision. And the only difference between the people that finally make it and the people that quit, are you willing to actually let yourself be frustrated that where you are and where you want to be don't match? Not yet. Beautiful. You know it's coming. We scooch our blocks out of the way. Single leg kicks, 10 on each leg. If that's easy for you, up with 1, down with 2. Up with 1, down with 2. Last 2 on each leg. Good. Let's go to the belly. Check out the neck. Now I'm facing the wall for my reading pose. Smooth, expansive breath. Head pushes up. Let's see if we can catch our breath. If you're next to somebody, work it out with them. Head up, bend your knees. Tick-tock. Oh, inhaling is so good. Isn't that nice? Good. Let's scooch a little closer to the wall so that with my elbows under the shoulders, I can get my hands flat on the. So the head is up, body's pretty close. There's still plenty of space for my face, but I can now no longer lie down. There's not space for my head were I to lie down. I'm going to take my face, I'm taking my hands shoulder height on the wall. And for up dog on the wall. Shoulder blades down, head up, chest up. So my knees are down, thighs are down, trying to get the pelvis down, tick-tock the head. Remember we worked on elbows just now. There you go, a little bit of padding for pubic bone. Nobody grinds their pubic bone into the floor. You can also play with squeezing buns. Try and turn on hip flexors a little closer. That'll help. Push your thighs into the floor, turn your quads on, that'll also help. Squeeze buns, thighs, yeah. Now my hands are going to stay the same height. Take your left hand right in the middle. Right hand comes around, catches the left leg. The other left. There you go. Pull the shoulder back. Twist hard to your right. Now, peel that left hand off. Right hand goes where the left hand is. Twist. Left hand catches that right butt cheek. Pull the shoulder back, breathe and twist. Or twist and then breathe. Holy cow. How far back can you pull that left shoulder? And notice the crazy impediment to your inhale. Good. Regular cobra, so hands on the floor. Notice I can actually keep my chest in the same position, but the mechanics of the position, the weight transfer, the forces on the spine and the hips, totally different. Isn't that nice? A little tick-tock of the upper body. Of course, the head. Ugh. So nice. Let's get our back bends warmed up. Now, if you can't do it with your fingertips touching the wall, you'll then go to sliding the heels of the palms up against the wall. The game is simple. If you can't get up into your forearm stand, I'm going to actually ask you to jump. You're just going to face the wall, touch your elbows to the floor, fingers touch the wall, and try to kick and try to get up today. Today may be your day. Don't use violence. Use repetition. Use time. For the rest of us, for those of you who can get up, you're going to try to get your butt against the wall. But notice that I have my butt against the wall, but my head and chest are not on the wall. I didn't go towards the wall. My butt moved independent to the rest of me. Again, if you can't get your butt on the wall, remember the moment the butt reaches back, the chest pushes away. So I would say Andrea needs to get her hands flat against the wall. So she would come out, slide her elbows closer, heel the palms are up against the wall, like so. Fingers point straight out. Now when she kicks back, there's an honesty cost she has to pay. Now her body is against the wall and she can get her shoulders more vertical. Yes. Lauren said that the downward trajectory is more intense than the upward trajectory. Yes. And of course, that's why we practice that. How do we catch ourselves? Okay, now let's say that was hard for you, hypothetically. You're going to repeat that same distance. Now, for those of you that you could do it, say you could do it with the heels against the wall. Now you come out to fingertips on the kickboard. For those of you who could do it with fingertips on the kickboard, you're going to work your way out 2 inches. 2 inches is a long way when it comes to this work. So now my fingertips are away from the wall. I'm trying to get my butt back with the shoulders on the wall. And you look how extreme this looks. This is just fingertips 2 inches off the wall. So you'll find this next deeper position. Smooth, deep breaths. And for those of you who can get your butt off the wall, take your feet off the wall. 3, 2, beautiful. And come out of that. We're going to take our feet up the wall for second best. So I like to put my butt about 16 inches off the wall. We lie back, feet up. Rejoice. Huzzah. Yay. Now we're not going to be here long. But again, the moment you truly, to your bones, get that at no point in your entire life were you ever guaranteed another breath. Like when you truly get that, you have this access to just like wake yourself up from your cynicism. Remember, the cynic and the gullible are 2 ends of the same spectrum. If I'm incredulous, I don't believe anything with no evidence. I believe that nothing is true with no evidence. If I'm credulous, I believe everything with the same amount of no evidence. And so the cynic is the same. The cynic looks into the future and declares that they know that the future is terrible. But none of us have ever lived in the future. None of us know that. And the one moment we have to experience any of our lives is right now. And that's what these little interstitial moments are for. These little spaces we design into the practice. If you want more insight into how I design them into the class, sequencing course, plug, purchase now. Roll the head, check out the neck. Oh, these back bends are going to be so good. Right. Oh, it's going to be hot soon, isn't it? You could just ask everybody to turn their ACs off for the class. Hot yoga. There we go. Legs up, arms up, roll your wrists, roll your ankles. What do you say we do 10? And if you're feeling out for it, you can kick off, and we'll call it a day. Scooch the body sufficiently away from the wall that I can have my feet flat, toes touching the wall, and I shouldn't feel too squashed up, too squinched. Eventually, you'll be able to get very close to the wall, and you'll be able to get up. My caveat is you really need to listen to me for the last push, because if you let yourself set up far away from the wall and then try to do a kickoff, you will not make it, and falling back into the wall after a half-hearted jump is what we don't want. So when I jump off at number 10, I'm going to want my hands to be as close to the wall as I can be, but let's first do our 9 little back bend push-ups. So we press up, take an inhale. They come down when your butt kisses the floor, that's 1. This is 9. Now let's take a moment before you do number 10. Take your legs up, arms up. And if you've never jumped off of the wall, it's really better to have somebody spotting you the first 10 or so times you do it. It's hard when you're upside down. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. Nothing makes sense. If you're ever in a handstand, yoga teacher walks over you and starts giving you instruction. You have no idea what they're saying. To the back, to the front, up, down, you have no idea. Your back bend is from your hands to your face is a handstand. So everything is disoriented. So if you want to hear what I'm talking about, go and watch me for a moment. I'll do it, and then I'll spot Andrea doing it, and then I'll leave you to do it. And I'll make sure to end the stream before anyone commits suicide. That way there's like liability, deniability or something. So I want to get as close to the wall as I can. So one way to do it is I press up and walk my hands. That's the surest sign that I'm close. But I could also just scooch my butt really close and really dive the hands super close. And if you can't get up here, chances are you have no business doing this next position. So I press up, straighten the arms. I have to be able to do my little feet woggy walk because I'm going to have to be able to get 1 foot high. Notice that my foot is higher than my hip, so that to even straighten that leg, I'm mostly here. There was no jump there. If you get your foot too low, or if my hands are too far away, I'll have too much weight on my feet. I'll have to jump too hard, and I'll be too wild and uncontrolled when I come out. So if you watch Andrea, watch her for a moment. I'm going to have her press up. Now she's strong enough, she doesn't need a spot. She gets 1 foot up, a little higher. Nope. She's going to listen to my instruction. 1 foot up higher. See how our shin is vertical? You'll get a feel for this. Now, I want you to imagine, I'm going to do this to her. She doesn't need me to, but I want you to imagine that as she picks her foot up, I'm pushing on her shoulders this way. Her chest is pushing away from the floor. You want to imagine my hand is on the back of your heart, pushing your chest away from the wall. Go ahead and give it a shot, and we'll wait. Otherwise, come out of that, roll on your side. Come into standing without passing out. If you ever get lightheaded, tick-tock the head. Remember, the advanced practice is an invitation for you to know where your edges are. So we invite you to something that's too hard for you. And then as you do the practice, you're like, oh no, that's too much. And so you are the one that chooses to come out early. This is a sign of self-love, but of course it's also a sign of self-knowledge, understanding yourself. Our main rule in our practice is know thyself, love thyself. You got to know your edges and then love yourself enough to never go over your edges. One for the road, palms face up. We reach the wrists apart, elbows kick forward, a little bit of bad waiter. My elbows are kicking forward, but I'm also rotating forearm, shoulder, and doing work to get the scapula down and out. Can I get the scapula as far away from the ears as I possibly can? You imagine I'm standing behind you, caught you by the shoulder blades, and I'm pulling down. We don't need to bow the chest. And then, of course, you imagine I'm standing behind you, I've caught you by the skull. The head's reaching up. This should feel really good. How's it feel?
Nice.
Keep the head pushing up. Let your arms hang. The head floats. You're tall. All of a sudden, feel how tall you are. She's not very tall, but just she looks so tall. She feels so tall. Doesn't look it, but she feels really tall. All you shorties out there, keep trying to be taller. Thank you so much for your hard work, for your time, for your trust. Check out all the new stuff. We got an email coming out tomorrow with all the cool new stuff we'll have out. Self high fives, other people high fives. Until we see you next, until we get to hug you. If you didn't know, we love you. Take care. Sleep well.